I speak for that little being inside her that has no voice. And ironically, the left, they're the one that's supposed to be for the little guy. Well, you can't be a littler guy than a zygote, than a fetus.
We've heard policy wonks on the right say that we should completely abandon our stance. When I say our, I mean the conservative stance.
Right. No, as well, like I said, I'm pro-life, but I would never try to force anybody else to be.
Right.
That's where I'm more libertarian. Look, if a woman wants to have an abortion, that's her business.
Right.
I don't approve of it, but I'm not going to do anything to try to prevent her from doing that.
So in the decision of Roe v. Wade, you kind of see the SCOTUS position that it is a right to privacy.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Now, I will do my best if I ever run into and I have in the past, a person considering abortion, and do my best to talk them out of it. But beyond that, I can't do anything more than that.
You're talking about personal relationships. So do you march in pro-life?
No.
Right.
Like I said, I've been very private until now with all of my beliefs. And so I've never marched, I've never gone out there publicly doing anything like that. I just in my own personal relationships.
Well, another disconnect that we've had in this election cycle was, according to this electoral map, is with the youth. If you remove the vote 24 years and younger from this election cycle, Romney gets much closer. Obama still wins. I believe he gets 276 electoral votes.
To go even deeper than that, I've done a little knowledge seeking on this issue too, and we are facing now an actual paradigm generational shift. And here we go. The youngest people that voted in this election, 18 years old, were born in 1994. You go back a generation, 20 years, born in 1974. That whole 20-year generation now has fully matured into their voting life because they're 18 years old to 38 years old. Now, why do I pick that? Well, 20 years is a generation, but there's another thing in there. If you all you got to do is look what happened in 20 years ago. Who was in the election then? Bill Clinton. And what do you know? The first baby boomer president. Remember they used to call him the first black president? Yeah, Mr. Cool, blowing the saxophone with his shades on. And those kids, 18-year-olds then, were born in 1974. Now, you can't tell me that they haven't stayed with the Democratic Party all that time. So that 20-year block of people are, as I said, are fully matured into their voting life now. And it's getting more intense because in 1992, there was virtually no internet. Now, every 4 years we go on. For instance, even in 2004, Twitter and Facebook weren't nearly as big as they are now. 2008, that's what helped Obama get in the first place. Now, one could argue, okay, that makes sense. I see how the generation is going, and they're getting older and coming into the fold to vote for the Democratic Party. The kids are so kids, the 18 to 38, that 20-year block, they are so hyper-connected now. They've all got devices with them 24/7. They are an incredible block, an incredible voting block. So I don't even think you could analyze it to death, but the Latino vote, the black vote, the women vote, it's a generational vote.
How committed are they to ideology as opposed to committed to fashion, fad, hero worship?
No, they're not committed to ideology at all. If they were, they would have bounced Obama out. I mean, just the fact that the 7.9%, there's never been a president in history that's won an election re-election with that high of unemployment. But you know what? They don't care. They don't even want jobs. They'd rather still live at home with their parents and get things for free. If you don't even care about having a job, what would you care about the unemployment rate? I mean, I'm just using that as an example. That's just on that that alone, he should have been bounced. Because there's one thing I do want to say in defense of Romney. Now I see the Republicans are really trying to scapegoat Romney. He was a weak candidate. He was BS. I think he was a fine person, a good man, a fine candidate. I like the fact that one of his strong points, I thought, was because he was from Massachusetts and he was a governor of a state that is 87% Democratic. Shows that he can deal with the people on the other side of the aisle and all that. I thought that was great. And a lot of people lauded him for that until after the election. Then there was oh, he's too moderate, he's too this, too that. Well, he was fine, he was a great candidate, but he's not cool like Obama is. The perception, and let's face it, we all know that perception is more important than reality. Everything cool is in the Democratic Party. That's the group think. That's how they think, and that's how they vote. They don't care about ideology or policy. Right? Here's an example for you. I come from a pretty big family, and I have a lot of young nephews and nieces. And this one just turned 18 in September, so he voted for the first time. I called him before the election, and I said, "So, Louis, who are you going to vote for?" He says, "Oh, Obama." I said, "You're going to vote for Obama?" And I said, "Why?" I didn't start in on him. I just said, "Why? Why are you voting for Obama?" You know what he said to me? I bet you can guess. Guess what he said to me.
He's cool.
Yeah, you got it. Because he's cool. I just about had a stroke at that point. And it's because he's cool. I said, look, he's not selling records or anything. You're not going to, doesn't have a TV show. Well, actually, he does have a TV show.
He does have a TV show, yeah.
Called the Nightly News. But that's beside the point. That's another discussion entirely. And I said, I said, what about all your buddies? You got other 18-year-olds that are their first election if they're going to vote? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they all think he's cool. We all text each other. Yeah, vote for Obama. So these kids are all connected, as I said, and they all have this group think thing going. And there you have it.
What do you do when you're up against that? We hear this a lot. How do you make inroads here?
What I said to him, just in this particular instance, I said to him, all right, you think he's cool. What do you think about all that stuff that happened in Libya? What? I don't know. I said, so you didn't bother to find out about anything that he believes in or that he thinks? Yeah, he doesn't like rich people. Rich people should pay more taxes. Now, I'm being a little unfair because I'm making him sound like he's stupid. And he's not. He's a pretty bright kid. He's not exceptional, but he's a bright kid. And he's a nice kid, decent kid. But his buddies think that Obama's cool. And the little snippets that they know about him, yeah, we should tax the rich more. The rich, they have too much money. And I said, don't you think anything beyond that? No, not really. He's cool, and the rich have too much money, so they should be taxed more.
What happened here? Because I heard an interview with Adam Carolla, and he had a great insight. He said, gone are the days where a man would be driving around with his son in the car. Down the street comes a Rolls Royce, and the child says, "Who's that?" He goes, "Why, that's the president of the local bank." And that was a great man in a way. That was a man to be looked up to. That was a man to aspire to. Where did it turn? Where now we throw eggs at this guy?
Yeah, no, I think I could pinpoint that for you. The students of the 60s and 70s who were against the man, against the establishment, and that included capitalists. Who was more anti-capitalist than hippies? Well, those people that were students in the 60s and 70s are now the teachers and the professors. That's where it's pinpointed. When they turned against what we consider the American way of, yeah, that guy is to be admired because he worked hard and he became successful. Now it's like you got to be ashamed of being successful.